one of the things as a patent attorney is you often get to talk to firms and they start to discuss their systems they haven't really necessarily opened up and sort of had other people look at and criticize. And so one of the things you sometimes can do is actually challenge, well, how do you, we ask the questions, how do you get to this? And so that's often gets the client, this is in a private practice context, actually thinking about it. But also when you're in industry, it can be very important sometimes to just really think about, if you're going to have to disclose or explain to people, you've got to think about, well, how are you going to protect? Because often as a patent attorney, so it's the back end, you're never going to be necessarily discussing that or making that public. Now there's increased regulation, there may even be standards compliance. People are going to need to think about perhaps patenting not just the application of their AI system, but fundamentally how they might be internally processing data and those decisions, and asking and exploring around that space, I think, can sometimes be very insightful, not just for a patent attorney who's trying to understand how things work, but also for the actual client himself, because it gets them to think about things and think, well, actually, can I explain this? And that's the key thing, what hold that data? Oh yeah, they take it for granted sometimes. And it's like, well, yeah, but what is the provenance? Okay, so because sometimes people, it just takes that opportunity to ask questions that from an external perspective that hasn't happened before. And that's why I think one of the critical things businesses can almost do to prepare and to grow trust in AI is to, as you say, and I love the way Reny put it, to be able to explain it, but also to be open to having questions challenging it. Because if you don't, then it's, you won't, first of all, you won't have the answers prepared, but also it's not, it shouldn't be seen as a negative thing, somebody questioning the validity of the system. It's an opportunity to make that system better. And that's the key thing that I think that, people need to understand. It will make mistakes, but you can make it stronger and better by understanding why and how. Is it to do with the decisions framework? Is it to do with the data? So that's, and there's an interesting angle there as a patent attorney, because you often get to go in and ask questions before other people have done it. So that's quite sort of interesting.